The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 4. He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a power of truth, and without iniquity, just and right is he. I'm going to stop right there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah, Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, wherever you might be. Shalom to the 140 and 4,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the JUDGEMENT Denver camp. And I want to do a lesson talking about the Lord's judgment. All right, because we're in the time of the judgment of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. You see, and everything that he does is completely righteous. So the things that we're getting ready to witness play out in the earth is all the righteous judgment of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. And one of those judgments that's going to be carried out is what? Famine. And the Spirit has been on brothers to continually talk about this because that's a very big deal. The Lord sends famine upon lands and upon people as judgment, as a punishment. And here in America, Babylon the Great, all right, you can expect famine to play out in a major way here in these last days. And it's a righteous judgment, man. You're going to have men, women, and children starving to death out here, man. Okay. Killing each other, robbing each other over the lack of food. That's what's coming. And this is why we tell you Israelites to repent, to turn back to Yahweh, Bashmi Al-Shai, so that you can be provided for in the time we're coming into, because the Lord will provide for his elect, man. These things are judgments. They're not just random happenings. It's not just a random food shortage going on. And really, Esau is orchestrating this whole food shortage to get people to bow the knee to his new world order. All right. But the thing is that the Lord is controlling Esau. You see what I'm saying? It's all Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai bringing forth judgment in the earth. You see? So, I want to get an account in book of 2 Kings, starting in chapter 6, because it goes into famine. That's mentioned all throughout the Bible, man. You see? Not enough people are talking about it, especially in the Christian church, man. They ain't talking about nothing that's really important, man. Okay, so let's get into it real quick. So here we have 2 Kings chapter 6, starting at verse 24. We're going to read down. It says, "And it came to pass after this, that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria." So this is an account where a heathen king, all right, besieged our people in Samaria. All right. You see? And that's what Esau is doing. He's choking off the food supply, man. And these devils have been known to do this. All right. In the time of the Roman Empire around 70 AD. They did that to us, man. They choked off the food supply to our cities. They besieged us. All right. So he's running that same play. Check it out. Verse 25. "And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver." Man, do you see this, man? Do you understand the magnitude of what is being mentioned right here? All right, they choked off the food supply to Samaria until, people were paying money, good money, to eat a donkey's head. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was what they had, man. They were eating bird shit. Dove's dung was being sold for silver, man. You understand? Like, come on, man. That shows you extreme desperation. When people can't eat, you see, they'll do anything, man. And that's used as a weapon. But ultimately, it's the Lord's judgment for those who are not underneath his protective covering. All right, you Israelites who have not repented and turned back to the Lord, man. You're going to have people out here eating all manner of different things they ain't supposed to be eating. To the point they're going to be eating their own children, man. But let's continue on. And as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Awashai, do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? So pretty much, man, our people were in distress. The king said, Look, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord can't help you, what the hell you think I'm supposed to do? That's what the king said to this woman. Like, what you think I'm supposed to do? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So this woman was telling the king her scenario that she was in, man. She was like, Yo, this one broad told me that, hey, we'll eat your son today, and tomorrow we'll eat my son. They were bargaining, coming up with a plan on how to commit cannibalism, man. Eating their own children. That's how serious it got. That's coming back, man. But look, next verse it says, So we boiled my son and did eat him. You understand? And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. So that's treachery going on, man. First of all, you got cannibalism taking place. This woman ate her own son. All right. Her and the other woman ate, her son. And then the next day, she hid her son and ran off. You see, when things get desperate like that, people become cold-hearted towards each other. All right. Backstabbing and all type of shit finna be going on, man. In the time we're coming into, especially here in America, Babylon the Great, a place with no morals. All right. Come on, man. It's finna get ugly out here. We're gonna need Yah by Shema Shai, but let's go on to the next verse. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. So the king was in distress. He was like, God damn. He ripped his clothes, man, because he was hearing, that scenario, man. Like, that's how bad it got over there for our people. The king had on sackcloth, man. He was in mourning. Then he said, The Most High do so, and more also to me, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house. All right. Elisha is a mighty prophet. He was the understudy of the prophet Elijah. All right. You see, so Elisha was a great prophet of the Lord, man. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him, and the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, See ye how this son of a murderer hath sent to take away mine head? Look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door, and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? So Elisha, man, the Lord was dealing with him on a high level, man. And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord Yahweh. All right. What should I wait for the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, any longer? All right. Now check it out. We're going into, the miracle that's going to be worked in the midst of this famine. All right. Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. So during this famine, where people were committing cannibalism, women eating their own children, all right, Elisha says, look, man, by this time tomorrow, we're going to have food in abundance. All right, Elisha was prophesying. All right, to the point where it's going to be, hella cheap. Anyway, let's go on to the next verse. So 2 Kings 7, verse 2. Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of the Most High and said, Behold, if the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, would make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. All right, so this Lord, all right, which is another, word for superior, set up by the king, is pretty much scoffing at Elisha. He doubted the prophecy, right? And Elisha said, look, man, you're going to see what I'm talking about, but you're not going to take of the spoils. All right. So he prophesied that he ain't going to partake in the abundance, due to his unbelief. And that's why it's important to believe the words of the prophets, man, because the prophets are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But let's see what happens next. And there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said one to another, why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live. But if they kill us, we shall but die. So pretty much these 4 leprous men were, consulting with each other like, look, man, you're gonna have to make a move here, man. If we go to the city, we gonna die. If we sit here and do nothing, we gonna die. So let's just go to the Syrians to see if, perhaps they might preserve us, the enemy army. If they kill us, then shit, it is what it is. That's pretty much what they were saying. So check it out. And they rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. So they went unto the enemy, armies, and where they were camped at, and they found that there was nobody there. So check this out, man. Okay. But the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, lo, the king of Israel have hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. So look, man, the Lord is in control of everything, man. All right. So the Lord made the enemy armies to believe that there was a great host coming against them. All right. He made them to believe that there was a great army coming to kill them. So they left. All right. Check it out. Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. Because the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Lord controls the minds of every soul. He put it in their mind. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua put it in the mind of the enemy armies to believe that there was another army coming to kill them. So they left everything, man. Now check it out. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold and raiment, clothing, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent and carried this also, and went and hid it. Now check this out. Here's the point I want to make right here. The Lord allowed for that to happen so that the Israelites could eat in a time of famine. And I think about these preppers, man. Okay, we mention this all the time here at Great Millstone. You got all these preppers here, all right, stockpiling food and clothes and supplies and shit like that. These rich Edomites, like these heathen out here. And we say it all the time, man. When all hell breaks loose, all right, a lot of these people that got these bunkers and stockpiles of food and whatnot, they're not going to be able to even partake of that, man. A lot of them are going to die. And really, the Lord is causing them to stockpile that stuff for who? The Israelites, man, because the Lord said we're going to eat in time of famine. All right, let's get a quick precept. Hold up. Here's when it comes to mind. All right, Job chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You understand? This is what's promised to the elect. All right. In times of famine, we are going to eat, man. So you got people prepping and panicking, right now, because they see the effect of this war going on. All right. Fertilizer shortages causing farmers not, to be able to produce crops. Okay. There's many videos on YouTube talking about this, man. People are panicking right about now. All right. But the Lord said in famine, he going to redeem us from death. And that's what Elisha said, back then. And the Lord caused a situation that they didn't even expect to happen to bring it to pass, man. The Lord, man, look, his word is faithful and true. And he speaks through his men. We're telling you right now, the men of Great Millstone are telling you Israelites, you hopeful elect out there, that if we continue to hold unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're going to eat when everybody else is starving to death, man. You understand? You got to believe it. He's going to redeem us in times of war, man. Civil war and unrest here. People are unaliving each other. That's coming. We're going to be shielded and protected. All right? Believe it, man.
Food prices are rising
again. Man, I typed in, food shortages 2026, and look at all these
15
videos that
food
pop
items
up. You see, we don't do these lessons for no reason.
This is
This is happening right now all around us. Okay? 2026 food shortage
15
warning.
food.
Let's check this video out real quick. This came out 2 days ago, by the way. And fair use, fair use. It's for educational purposes only. Fair use. All right, this is from the channel, The Provident Prepper. Let's see what he got to say.
Food prices are rising again, and this time it's not just inflation, it's supply shortages. All the indicators are that in 2026 and 2027, we're going to have food shortages. So now's the time to act. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene. And right now we are hearing about all kinds of food shortages. And what's happening is when there's global pressures on our food supply, we feel it at the grocery store. And we are not about panic. This is not a time to panic. We've been prepping forever.
Yeah.
And this is just a little blip in the road, right? This is something that we just need to deal with. But in today's video, we're going to talk about what the problem is and what we can do to make sure that we minimize the impact of it on our family directly. So again,
all right, let me pause it real quick. So you got these Edomites prepping, like I said, all right? But let's read this comment. And look, the name of this this man's channel is Trusting in Him. Come on, that's spiritual. You can't make that up, man, because we're trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hey, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Everything is spiritual. But what does this guy say? He says, now in the grocery store, it's very full of bioengineered garbage food. That's right, man. That's the truth. Produce section is another story. It's shrunk to half the size and doubled in price. So that's what's going on right now. People are noticing this shit, man. It's the Lord doing it, man. He's causing these things to happen in the earth as judgment. And we see it happening. But the unsuspecting people of the earth that turn their back on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, speaking to you Israelites, okay, this is your punishment being orchestrated. All right, the Lord is, tightening the squeeze on society, man. So most of the food in these Walmart, especially Walmart, man, it's just full of junk and bullshit, man, chemicals and bioengineered shit. So you're not really getting any nutrients off of all that junk. And then the stuff that is somewhat, decent, the produce and whatnot, is doubling in price. All right, to the point where people ain't gonna be able to afford this stuff, man. And then eventually it's gonna run out. So yeah, man, this is what's going on in the world. Pay attention. Let's see what they got to say.
we are not going to freak out about this, but we do need to recognize that the UN World Food Program has said that over the next couple of years that millions of people will have food insecurity. So we need to address this. I think that's important.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the biggest drivers. Number one is geopolitical tensions. And that surprised me because there's no conflict going on in the world, is there really?
Whatever.
Actually, we all know
Where is
there
there
is.
not conflict?
Yeah, we know there is. And the most recent, of course, is the Strait of Hormuz. And that's causing a variety of impacts to us. So these tensions are there and they'll always be there to some extent. But number two is our fertilizer cost and supply. So this is really impacting especially the farmers. The cost of fertilizer is up. That means they generally can apply less fertilizer and still be okay financially. So we're going to have decreased harvests and the prices are going to go up.
You see that? So there you go. This whole Iran conflict, which, we know that these elites are using that to, put the squeeze on society, all right? Order out of chaos. They're going to use that to the utmost to afflict these people, man, the general population, because their plan is to do what? To cut down the population. We understand that, and one of the ways they're going to do it is by starving the people out, man. All right, that's going to cause manifold different situations. When you cut off the food supply, you're going to have people dying. You're going to have people robbing each other, murdering each other. All right, looting stores and whatnot. They're going to then put the military in the streets to shut things down. All right, it's going to be crazy out here, man. You cut off the food supply, hey, things happen, and we're watching it unfold. All right, so the whole fertilizer situation is causing things to happen, man.
One of the big ones that I am tied into directly is climate extremes, and this is the U.S. drought monitor that's showing right now what the drought situation is. And right now 60% of the contiguous 48 states is in some degree of drought, and a lot of it's in.
And check this out, another factor, all right, drought. You got different states, you know what I'm saying, fighting each other over who's going to have the control of the water supplies here, man. All right, because of the droughts that are going on, man. You're going to have water shortages. It's the Lord orchestrating all this, man. All right, as judgment.
Severe drought, extreme drought, exceptional drought. And so there is a lot of drought, probably the most in many years that we've seen in our country. So that is a huge factor. And I was at a board meeting the other night and listening to some of the farmers talk. One was a supplier of hay and one was a user of hay. And the user was asking the guy that trucks hay all over the United States, said, you know, what's the hay situation and should we be concerned? And my other friend said, yeah, we should be very concerned, because there's a lot of areas around us where they're only going to get one cutting of hay, where they normally get 3 or maybe even 4 cuttings of hay. So
all right, so yeah, man, you can watch this video on your own time, man. You see what's going on. People are concerned, all right, about the shortages that are incoming, man. You see? Let's go back to that 2 Kings. Actually, matter of fact, let's check this video out real quick. All right, from Democracy Now! Fair use, fair use. All right, look at this. This came out 3 days ago, and it says the looming food crisis. Why the Strait of Hormuz is disrupting global agriculture. It's a worldwide situation going on, man. Let's see what they got to say.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Nermeen Sheikh. We turn now to the risks of a global food and hunger crisis if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed to shipments of fertilizer, oil, and natural gas. The Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, warned last week that a prolonged crisis in the Strait could lead to a global food catastrophe due to rising oil prices and disruptions to the fertilizer supply chain. A top United Nations official echoed the FAO's warnings Wednesday, saying that the closure of the Strait was creating a crisis in the agricultural industry in Asia and Africa. According to the FAO, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Somalia, Sudan, Tanzania, Kenya, and Egypt are among the countries most at risk from the Strait remaining closed. Jorge Moreira da Silva, Executive Director of the UN Office for Project Services, said the UN has established a task force focused on fertilizers and supplies of raw materials in order to prevent a humanitarian crisis.
The disruption of the Strait of Hormuz can push 45 million more people into hunger and starvation.
So yeah, man, you see what's being talked about, all right? We all know that this is prophecy, man. This is the Lord's will playing out. Even though these global elites are, using this as a way to, corral the people into their new world order, ultimately it's Yahweh Bashmi Shah controlling this whole situation. But let's go back to that 2 Kings. All right, so back to the account in 2 Kings. We're in chapter 7 now, okay? And so these lepers, these Israelites, man, that were lepers, they stumbled upon the camp, man, of the opposing army, and they found the supplies left there by itself. That's a miracle, man. But check it out. Verse 9. Then they said one to another, we do not well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household. So they're like, we can't hold this to ourselves. If we don't tell everybody that we found all this damn food, something gonna happen to us. So they said, let's go tell the rest of the Israelites, let's go tell the king what we found. Okay. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, we came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man, but horses tied and asses tied, and the tents as they were. So the Syrians, man, they fled and left everything behind. All right. This is the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And he called to the porters, and they told it to the king's house within. And the king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry. Therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. All right. So pretty much there's, saying, well, this is a trap. All right. Well, what does it say next? Verse 13. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed. And let us send and see. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, go and see. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king. And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, which was spoken by who? Elisha the prophet. All right. You see that? The Lord spoke through Elisha, man. He told him that, look, man, we gonna have food. The Lord gonna provide for us. And that's what happened by way of a miracle. Okay. The Lord tells us that we gonna be merry and have abundance in the time of famine. Let's get that real quick. Hold up. So here it is, man. Heavy hitter. You should know this one. 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. This is what we telling you right now, man. You hope for the elect. But everybody else is losing their shit. All right. Starving to death. All right. Robbing each other for the lack of bread. You see, we gonna be merry and have abundance. Don't ask how it's gonna happen, but the Lord gonna make it happen. Just like Elisha told the Israelites, hey, look, the Lord gonna provide. We telling you the same thing, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not gonna let us starve to death, man. Those of us who have been serving him in truth and in sincerity, the Lord's gonna provide for his elect. All right, Abaratazah, we're of that number. You see? And understand that we're in a time of miracles taking place. Yahweh Shah was on the earth, and what was he doing? He was multiplying food, man. You see, Elijah the prophet. All right, he was taken care of. When he was on the run, the Lord made provision for him, man. He was fed by a raven, and he drank from the brook. So the Lord has manifold ways of providing for his elect, man. Just believe. All right, don't doubt, because doubt is going to get you killed, man. All right. If you don't believe the word of the prophets, because it's ultimately the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then you're not going to receive this provision, man. Matter of fact, let's go back to that 2 Kings 7, because it goes on to show you what happens to those who don't believe in the prophets. Okay. So we left off of verse 16. Okay. And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate. So he put one of his supervisors in charge, right? That same guy that was doubting. All right, he put him in charge of the whole, operation of getting the spoils, right? But what does it say next? And the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of the Most High had said, who spake when the king came down to him. All right. So check it out, man. Let me read that again. Hold on. So it says right here, and the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate. And the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. So what just happened here? That prophecy came to pass, man. Remember in the beginning, Elisha said, you're going to see the miracle. You're going to see what happens, but you're not going to partake of it. That man that was doubting, right, that supervisor that, the king set up, he saw what was going on. But guess what? He died because the people, they stomped him and they trampled him. All right, look at that, man. That's heavy. This is why you must trust and believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the prophets, the true men of the Lord. All right, and we believe those to be those that are of great millstone, and those who come in the same spirit and doctrine of great millstone, man, in these last days. Okay, the true prophets. We're telling you what the Lord has told us, man. We're not making our own words up, man. These are from the scriptures. The words that we speak are from the scriptures, man. So you got to believe on it, man, or not, and meet your fate, meet your doom, like this man here. Okay. And it came to pass, as the man of the Most High had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel shall be tomorrow, but Salakia, shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. Right? The prophecy came to pass. And that Lord answered the man of the Most High and said, now behold, if the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. This reminds me also of those Israelites who were in the wilderness after we left Egypt. They were murmuring and doubting, the Lord, man. They were questioning Moses, you know what I'm saying? Talking shit. What happened to them? They died off in the wilderness because of their unbelief. You understand? We don't want to be a part of that. So believe on what's written. The Lord said he's going to provide for us in these times that we're coming into, because it's about to get very, very, very serious out here, man. Okay? Understand, it's the Lord's doing, and it's not meant to judge us, man. It's meant to judge these people out here who are unbelievers, man. The rebels of our people, and these heathen, and these Edomites out here. It's not to punish and to, judge the Lord's elect, man. Though we are going to be tried, our faith will be tried. Those who truly believe will be taken care of, man. All right. So let's read the last verse. And so it fell out unto him, but the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died. So there you go, man. All right. That's the point of the lesson. Believe on the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Believe on his prophets, because we're speaking the words that are in the scriptures, man. Believe what's written. All right. We see what's going on in the world. It's the Lord carrying out judgment. And if we stay in the good graces of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we're going to be good to go, man. All right. Isaiah 65:13 talks about that, man. How his servants shall eat. All right. But they shall be hungry. All right. Go read that. But I'm going to end this lesson right here. All right. It's a good time to stop, man. It's 10:44 a.m. Hey, look, 144. They call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Lord willing, we're of that number, 144,000. So I'm going to end this lesson right here. All right. I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. And a Bible bar.